So in this part 2 of building an 80 series touring spec Land Cruiser on as little budget as possible, we're going to go through a little bit of stripping out the old vehicle and what we did there. I'm going to give you some tips on finding rust that can be hidden in the 80 series Land Cruiser. And well, the plan's changed and I've got myself a 105 series Land Cruiser, so I'm no longer going to be owning the COVID 80, but my son is. Here at Mad Matt 4 Drive, I'm all about educating and building the four-wheel drive community so we can wheel well. I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can get those notifications. That's right, I got an offer on a 105 series Land Cruiser that I just simply couldn't resist. I had to make it work. I had to get my hands on that vehicle, and we did. So that kind of solved my problems. But my young son, Jesse, he was looking for a Land Cruiser, and we've just done a deal. So the COVID 80 is going to be his. He's excited about it, and I'm actually really excited to be able to continue the build and get it, my son into a really good four-wheel drive, which the COVID 80 is definitely going to be. If you'd like to see the reveal of the 105 Land Cruiser, that video is linked above. Righto, let's get into looking at some of the damage that's in my old Land Cruiser that we're stripping apart. And then I'm going to give you a tip on where you can find rust in an 80 series Land Cruiser that is well and truly hidden.
So I've talked about how the front of my 80 series is cracking in half and that, but I've got it stripped out a bit here because I'm wrecking it, and some of the cracks in the body, let me show you some of them. Now obviously these are just the front clip. Look at that, completely gone away from on the radiator support panel. These front clip ones you could replace. There's cracks elsewhere and problems elsewhere, so the whole vehicle's going. Look at that one down there on the inner guard, cracking up through there. Radiator support panel on the passenger side, let's crack up through there. Inner guard, again the radiator support panel, that crack's gone there. Inner guard, cracking up through here. All these spot welds in here, gone through there. Come down here, it's cracking up through there. Down underneath the inner guard, up under here. So it's cracking this body, that panel in there, it's coming away from its join, and then the inner guard mount here just completely busted. So all of that's pretty bad, eh? Pretty bad. So I wanted to show you a quick tip as to a spot that the 80 series Land Cruisers rust, and when you get them stripped down like this, it's really easy to show you. So it's buried on the down in the inner guard area, and if ever you're looking to buy a second-hand 80 series, this is what you do. It's really hard to see in actual fact because the inner guard is running up through here and it's all comes down here. It's a bit tight, but you can, when the car's assembled, you can reach up into here and see this bolt hole here and here. These are what hold the inner guard to the firewall. Well, under here, see this little rubber plug? Okay, I'm just going to pick that out. I haven't done this before filming. And if there's water in there, it's an indication that there's rust going to be wanting to happen. Okay, the rubber failed, but anyway, I'll poke the sucker up in there. So, okay, so no water's come out. See, my fingers are dry. So that says to me that this isn't rusting. But what can happen is this can all rust out and it'll rust through into the firewall. So how do you pick it? Pull the rubber grommet out, feel if there's rust around it, feel if there's water in there, and then on the inside of the firewall, under the carpet, in that area, look for the rust coming through the firewall.
Well, I tell you what, I was kind of sad to see the old 80 disappear up the driveway, go to the scrap metal yard to become beer cans. But that's what's happened and it is no more. So let's get on with building the COVID 80. All right, I'm going to just brain dump a whole bunch of different tips and tricks and things I've learned along the way and way I do stuff in this build. So it doesn't quite come together the way I envisaged when I planned this all out, but I think you're going to enjoy the content that's coming up of how I build a Touring Spec 80 series for pretty much no money. Let's get into it. So the start of this is I've got these differentials. These are twin locked. So this has got a Harrop E-locker in it and an ARB air locker in the rear. And it's also got ratio changes using nitro gears so that it's geared to suit 35-inch tyres, but are running the 33-inch tyres, and that gives me an under-geared vehicle that makes the vehicle perform excellent on-road and off-road. So these are quite beefed up differentials in a touring spec type of thing. You know, look, they're not comp truck by any stretch. But I've also got a few bracings on some of the diff housings and bracketry and stuff. Just over the years, things have needed to be beefed up a little bit. Some of the bushes in these diffs on these housings are worn out, so I've got some terrain tamer bushes coming, and I'm going to do another video which is about why I use bonded rubber for the most part in my suspension links as opposed to the poly bushes. And I think that'll be an excellent video. So I'm going to film that tomorrow when the parts arrive, and that'll be linked above in due course. So where I'm at with these housings now is I'm going to clean them up and pretty them up so they look a bit nicer, because they've been under this truck for, well, I don't know, 25, 30 years and never had any love at all. So I've got my wire wheel here on the drill, and after I've given them a clean up, I'm going to just use some chassis black. This is a Septone product. No idea, you know, if it's any good or not. It's just stuff I had, but it's Australian made, and it's black, and it's designed for chassis, so it's got to be good for this. Look, all I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to make this look like a show car, because at the end of the day, you can do all that work, you drive through a mud puddle and it looks rubbish again. I'm just trying to put some protection into the steel work and that, and a chassis black, it's a good bituminous type paint. It's thick and it's nasty, and I reckon it's just going to be right for the job. And I had it in the shed as well. A lot of the bushes in this are flogged out, and I'll show you some of those bushes so you can see what I'm working with, and then we're going to get into cleaning these up and making them look pretty so that I can sling them in under the COVID-80 this weekend. I've got my nephew Connor, he's an apprentice mechanic, he's coming down to give me a hand as well, so he'll be in the camera work as well. So let's get into it. Righto, so the differentials are all pretty much ready to go into the COVID-80. So I'm now at the process where I've got to press some bushes into the links and arms and all that, but these are going to be in there by the end of the weekend. It's Saturday afternoon now. So my nephew Connor, he's in the car at the moment. He's on his way down here. He's going to give me a hand to press all these bushes out of these link arms, because these are the arms that are going back in. That's a rear panhard there, front panhard. These are the tough dog jobs. Nice robust units, I tell you. They've been in there since day dot in the old girl, and they're going again. These are the Superior Engineering lower arms for the rear. The bushes are flogged out, but I mean, look how beefy those arms are. They're twice the size of the standard girls, so really nice gear. So we're just going to press all that. Oh, what else I got? I got this. Here you go. So that's the Superior Engineering upper arm. They've got a sealing system in here so that water and moisture can't get inside the adjustment of those tubes. So that's kind of cool. That's all patented apparently. All right, so that's sort of where we're at. But you know what? Connor's just rolled up, so come on, let me introduce you. Hey, bud. Hi, hey, good to see you, man.
You too.
So, glad you come, man. Yeah. So this is Connor. He's my nephew. He's an apprentice motor mechanic. Unfortunate part about it is he drives patrols. And he's even owned these Toyotas, and he knows they're good.
He's just jealous.
Anyway, he's going to be giving me a hand. We're going to rip into this. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. All right, so we're getting the links and all that in. So the radius arms are in, new bushes installed in there. That all ready to go. So got the panhards in, and then got Connor and Jesse over here. They're pressing in the upper bushes at the moment. So Jesse's gonna own COVID-80, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's gotta be good.
What do you reckon's going to go? What are you going to get up to?
What do you mean? I'm gonna be out full driving all the time, taking my mates out. It's gonna be good.
Bit of camping.
Yeah, a bit of camping with the family,
There you
friends.
go. Do you like mechanics?
I haven't really done it much.
Time to learn.
Yeah.
So you learn how to push bushes in. So there you go. So setting the bush height's quite important.
A little bit more.
Ooh.
That's had enough. She'll be right. Don't worry about it. Don't just let it go.
That's how you build your cousin's car.
Just let it go.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, last night Connor and I hoed in and we got the back diff under there, and so that's going to work. And it's a bit it rained overnight, which sucks because we work in the driveway, and now he's trying to move it around. So here we go.
There's no shocks in the back.
I don't know what he's got going on there.
All right, Connor, what are you doing here, man?
Well, hang on, mate. This panhard bolt's never come out before. I'll be swinging off it.
It's a long bar. Right, come on, show us your muscle. Have you got a muscle?
It's moving.
Holy moly, that's tight.
Yeah, $700 snap-on gun couldn't do it.
No, that's probably more my compressor.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I just point out, people will be seeing that we've got this hanging up on the engine crane here, which is sketchy. That's why we've got safety stands under the chassis, and we're not going under the car. So, just so you know, we know how sketchy this is. Well, diffs are under it. Brakes are bled, aren't they, Connor?
Yeah, hope so.
So we've just chucked a set of coil springs under there. These won't be the finished springs, but they're a heavy duty 3-inch from Tough Dog, sitting it up about 4 inches at the moment, I reckon. So, so there's the old front diff. So dirty, grotty looking thing. Anyway, I'll strip that down and that'll become a race car spare part. We've run the rear diff breather and the front diff breather up here, so we've got to cable tie them off. That's the front e-locker wiring, and I've got the rear airline up here now. So yeah, so there you go. Now we're going to show you a trick. You're going to hop in, Connor. This is cool. This is what happens when you don't have shock absorbers in a car. Maybe you've wondered. Maybe you never have. So we don't want the springs to pop out, because in these the shock absorbers hold the springs in, but the only reason I didn't chuck the shocks in is we're going to put a proper suspension in there. It's actually the suspension's in that 100 series, the 105 series there. They're exact same suspension, and that's got a adjustable Tough Dog shocks and a 3-inch Tough Dog suspension, which is essentially the perfect suspension for this girl. And come over here. This is the goodness that's going into the 105. It's the Terrain Tamer Pro shock absorber setup. There's the springs. So look at that bit of adjustable goodness, hey? Look at that. So that's what the 105 is going to be running. Yes, please. So we'll do an install video on that goodness in due course. So yeah. Anyway, all right. So what's next, Connor?
Burnouts.
Yeah, it's an 80 series. It's not going to do burnouts.
Right,
I think we're going to put the sub tank in, aren't we?
sub tank back in
Which
it.
is here.
That fella in, get that going.
That's a whole nother drama, because good old me did a silly thing.
Lucky the mechanics here.
That's not what you said a moment ago. I had a brain fart, and I was pulling the sub tank out of the old race car, which didn't need it, and I cut the mounting strap with the grinder. I don't know, brain fart anyway, so we're going to do a bit of welding and repairing. All right, back to the adventures.